Jay, what do you know about this place called Shangri-La and these mystic, tall, white, Bigfoot Yetis, aka abominable snowmen that protect the outside of it?
I know that there's probably going to be a lot of words in this podcast that I'm really, really going to wreck.
The
That's what I
Tonkaronka.
think.
The Tonkaronka
Yeah.
Chakra Sharangalanka, right?
Yeah, that one. That one specifically, the Kalachakra Tantra.
Kalachakra Tantra. Well, anyway, so I'm going to get into this. I came across this. I found it was interesting because it crosses two things that we like talking around here. Me and you, ancient history, Bigfoots and cryptids, and we're going to unpack it. So welcome to EnigmaCast, nerds. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Uncle Jay.
And we're about to break it down to you. If you've never heard of what Shangri-La is or the Guardians of Shangri-La, we are about to break it all down, put it in a bubble, and then you know what? Wrap it right back to that book back there. And that way you can see where it all comes in together. Well, anyways, before we get into that, let's dig into this quick. I'm going to tell you where it's at. I'm going to give you the location, the legend, and then we're going to break it down. All right? So, no one knows where Shangri-La is.
There we go. It's in a mysterious place.
It's a mysterious place. However, there is a general locale where it's traditionally believed to be, according to the Tibetans. And according to the Tibetan Buddhists, Shangri-La lies between the snowy peaks of the Himalayas, North Tibet, often referred to as the Hidden Lands, and is only thought to be able to be accessible through those who are spiritually advanced. And spoiler alert, that's a load of junk at the very end. And I'm going to tell you why. So anyways, Jay, Himalayas.
Spiritually advanced.
Spiritually advanced.
Okay.
Increase your vibrations, yum, 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 whatever. Wear a bathrobe, shave your head, and beg for food. That's basically what spiritually advanced means. But yeah, no, it is. We've had our conversations about this.
Oh, man.
So look, before we get into this, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say that to the end. Anyway, so Jay, Himalayas, ever been there?
No, I have not ever been to the Himalayas. Understand mountain climbing.
I like
the
hike.
whole idea of going up so high that you might not come back down again. Yeah. I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, I enjoy, hiking and going up, about 4,000 feet. I'm not trying to get up in the 30s where I got to stop and let my body adjust for 2 weeks before I make a death.
I've hiked it up like 8,000 feet and stuff too. But there were trails and stuff. Like we weren't
right
pitoning ourselves up the side of an icy mountain, right? We were hiking through trails and stuff, right?
So basically, that's where it's believed to be, in a place that's almost impossible to get to.
Pretty much unreachable, right?
Unreachable. And I'm going to give you a good solid 10 things that would kill you if you go and look for it. And
right?
to look on
that mountain times 6.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's where it's supposed to be located. I'm going to tell you what it is, right? So what it is the legend behind Shambhala, aka Shangri-La, is also another name for it, I think. It's a mystical kingdom that embodies the enlightened wisdom and peace of a higher dimension that's supposed to be ruled by these enlightened kings who guard spiritual secrets. And there's a prophecy about this, right? And according to the prophecy of Shambhala, the final Rigden king will lead Shambhala's people to confront darkness in a time of global crisis, ushering in a new era of harmony. Now, I got some pretty interesting juice on that one, man. Then we'll get to that in a second, man. So yeah, Jay. So that's what Shangri-La is. It's a mystical kingdom that is up in the middle of nowhere, Tibet, and where the spiritually enlightened are supposed to be. We'll get into more detail on that. But here's the fun fact of this, right? There are guardians to get into Shangri-La. And so these guardians are Bigfoots, also known as
Yeti.
A Yeti.
Yeti.
At a Yeti. Also, here is another culture that could not be any farther away from the Appalachian North American range than the Himalayas,
right?
that have the exact same cryptid description that only varies in the color of their fur. Yetis
fur, right?
are white. Yetis
white.
are so white. Yeah, and then we have the brown and the black ones and the red ones over here, right?
Yeah, because that's what fades into the background.
Exactly. That's perfect camouflage, right?
Yeah.
So again, we have two cultures talking about something that is on two different continents and have a lot of the same properties. They're spiritual, they're physical, both. They can be highly aggressive. Yetis are actually bigger than most North American Bigfoots until you get out into the Alaska mountain range, where Alaska, the average size of a Bigfoot is 12 foot to 14 foot with the occasional, whatever. The minimum size in the Himalayas, from what I was done and from the Tibetan stories, they all start at 12, get up to 16. And there's actually a scientific word for things that live in colder regions, actually over time become bigger, right? And I think I had a conversation with Steve about this the other day. When the Vikings went down to basically just change the face of modern day the United Kingdom, they came ashore. And these, I guess they were Saxons at the time, or whatever they were. They're the Britannians. They thought they were big. They thought they were giants. Yeah. They weren't really giants. The average height of a Viking was 6 foot and sometimes 6'3", with a few 6'6"ers in there.
Well, yeah.
But the average height of a Brit was 5'4". So of course, right? And so the reason why the Scandinavians and the Danes and all these guys were so much bigger is because they had to trudge through these snowbanks, generations upon generations.
Living was a little bit harder. Harder, right? Living was a lot harder. And not only that, but the whole crossbreeding with the Neanderthals.
Exactly, man. So there's a whole thing over there too, man. And so that's a whole good podcast actually right there, man. So anyway, so these Yetis are bigger than our Bigfoots over here. They're bigger. They're around 12 feet to 16 feet tall. And that's the description I've never heard of a 20-foot tall one, but that's what they describe them on. To this day, unlike our culture where we argue about it, you will not find a Tibetan or someone from the Himalayas that says that don't believe in these Yetis. They 100% believe in them. And to give you a point of reference on, I'll use a Sherpa, for example.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.